Fuck them Cowboys! Yeah!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy. Welcome back to the channel. So today we currently have the Rams and Cowboys game going down in Hawaii. Currently the score is 10-7 in favor of the Rams, okay? But all scoring aside, we need to get into one little thing before we go further into the video. Listen, it's the preseason. Do not overreact to good or bad that happens. We're just taking for what it is. You know, you're not going to get a 110% full evaluation of a player when he's going up against certain players here and there. But, look, you know, we got to also understand, hey, listen, this is the time to really shine and, you know, take what you got and see, hey, this is what I can do. So I'm not really looking at how the team does if they win or lose. That's not the point. The point is, can they show, can they show good and can they show improvement, like I mentioned in the previous video. So let's go ahead and get into it. So starting out, the Cowboys were on defense, okay? The defensive line looks really solid. Like the backups and, you know, those rotational guys look great. Kerry Hyder, and keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt because, again, this is the preseason. They were going up against a lot of backups. Kerry Hyder made plays. I saw him jumping over the field. Taco Charlton, while he didn't make, the greatest, I mean, he did make plays, okay? And then you also saw, Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith get some tackles. You had Jordan Lewis making plays. A lot of the screens and a lot of the plays that were out, basically near the line of scrimmage, the Cowboys defense was making, okay? And that's good, we want to see those players improve, and we're definitely seeing some solid play from this defense so far, and this is without DeMarcus Lawrence or Byron Jones on the field, okay? And that's important because, if these guys are taking advantage of their opportunity and refining themselves, it's going to showcase on the football field come regular season. So then we did get to see the offense, only for a drive again, but it was an interesting drive to say the least, okay? Dak Prescott went perfect 5 for 5, and, Tony Pollard showed out as well, okay? So let's go ahead and let's look at, well, we'll talk about it. I don't really have the footage to look at. But, Cowboys start out on their 3-yard line. They start driving a bit. Dak gets sacked. It looks like, Pollard missed his assignment, but then again, I don't know exactly what the play was off the top of my head, unfortunately, exactly. But basically he gets sacked. Then the Cowboys managed to get a deep play to Gallup, and a lot of people were like, well, Dak underthrew him. Listen, he put the ball where it had to be, and the receiver caught it. That's the end of the story right there. I think that, there's a couple things he can work on, but I think, he got the play that was needed. Michael Gallup, he's been showing out a lot in these preseason games, okay? You saw a fullback run up the middle on a 3rd down, which was important. Well, it was important to keep the drive alive, but what it showed, and you kind of saw it, was there was a lot more movement, okay? And I think that's what the Cowboys really need to do. They can try to run the same plays. I just need to see some more fluidity in the offense, because it's like if we're just rigid and just doing the same thing over and over again, people are going to notice. So I do like what we're seeing a little bit of. Granted, it's preseason, so play calling isn't going to be the greatest, but, it's mostly vanilla, but hey, it's whatever. Tony Pollard, man, I'm telling you, like, even if Zeke comes back and I, showcase the picture of him apparently being on, coming back to Dallas, we don't know what for, but look, Tony Pollard made the most of his opportunity. He had 5 carries for 42 yards, a touchdown, and an average of 8.4 yards a carry, okay? He had 2 really big runs. A 15-yard run to make it 3rd and short when they were at their goal line, if I remember correctly. And then not only that, getting a 14-yard touchdown run. He also, looking at my stats up on my computer, he also had a reception for 9 yards, okay? So the thing is Tony Pollard is showing what he can do, and I think that's what we wanted to see in terms of a backup running back, was like, okay, we can rely on you to take over on a drive possibly. Not saying like take over the game, but like, hey, listen, if Zeke needs a breather for a drive, we can count on you for being out there on that drive, and that's important, okay? And then, you saw a lot of the movement, like I mentioned. And then kind of once now getting over to Mike White, he doesn't have a whole lot of yards, I believe. Let me see, looking at my stats. He's 6 of 11 for 25 yards, okay? But the thing I noticed is Mike White looked a bit better than he did in the 49ers game, okay? Another thing is, look, Brett Maher has to stop going wide to the left or to the right because it's getting on my nerves, okay? Look, I understand that this is the time to iron out those mistakes. Dude, please be careful. I do not want to go into the NFL regular season and have a freaking panic attack when you walk out onto the field, me wondering, oh my God, is he going to hit this field goal? Do we need to hit 60-yard field goals every single time so he makes it? Listen, I know I'm being hyperbolic here, but look, you gotta just be careful, man. I know the Cowboys will ride with Brett Maher, but the more mistakes he makes, the more it's gonna affect him. And, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey, I'm not saying that was a mistake because clearly it wasn't. Because, Dan Bailey didn't look that sharp in Minnesota, honestly. But if we're really going to think about it, look, Brett, he's had his moments. He's just got to be careful. That's my whole thing on that. We saw what Reggie Davis did on that one punt. We almost had the ball back, and then he fumbled the punt. Look, you can't be doing those mistakes, man, Those mistakes cost you a roster spot or lead to you getting cut, and you can't be doing that, man. You do that, you're pretty much committing, just basically, you're cutting yourself from the roster, That's the best way to put it, and you can't be doing that. And especially the fact when you give the Rams, or any team for that matter, short field position, they're definitely going to capitalize on it. And you can't put your team in those situations because then you got to rely on them to get the job. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you can't be putting your team in those situations. So with all those thoughts out there, what we're going to do is I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put a cut here. And we're going to go watch the second half. See if anything pops out. If not, I'm not really going to take your whole time at this point. So see you guys back for the second half. Alrighty guys, so it's official. The Dallas Cowboys have their first win in 2019. Granted, it's the preseason, but who cares? 14-10. They defeat the Rams in Hawaii. So a couple of things that went down in the second half that I need to address, okay? So Cooper Rush came in and he looked solid, okay? Yes, he didn't have a lot of yardage. He did lead a touchdown drive to get the Cowboys the lead, and they wouldn't hold back, or give up that lead, I guess you could say. I don't really care at this point. It's late at night. So Cooper Rush looks solid. Mike White, I'm sorry, man. He does not look like he he doesn't look like he's gonna make this roster, okay? It was just disappointing, man. There was penalties all around. I think 27 penalties. I can't even remember, but I know it was a lot of penalties in this game. Someone leave down in the comments section how many penalties there were, because trust me, there was a whole lot. What else? John V. Johnson had a couple plays here and there that he had opportunities to make, but he didn't, unfortunately. Mitch Hyatt, disappointing me. I was really high on this guy, and he's just not looking good. Another guy that's been surprising me, Devin Smith, number 15. He's been making a lot of solid plays, okay? He caught the touchdown, and it's just crazy, man, how, this guy's taking advantage of the opportunities given. I think he can make a run for the roster at this juncture. A couple other guys, Cody McElroy's been making a couple plays as well at the tight end spot. I mean, there's a couple other things here and there, but there really wasn't a whole lot to go off of. All I can say is that definitely some people did improve, some didn't, and unfortunately that's just how it is in the NFL. I don't really have much more to say, so listen, we got the dress rehearsal game. I will be in Dallas for that. I'll take pictures and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll do videos while I'm down there. Probably not, because I'm going with family, so I mean, we'll see what happens. Definitely make sure to like this video. Thank you for making it to the end. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell. And yeah, I'll see you guys in Dallas if I do whatever video. Alright guys, peace out. Bye-bye.